So in a couple of days, I will celebrate my birthday. And for a long time, my birthday has been a real struggle. I remember when I was a kid and from the youngest age, when my friends were coming at home to celebrate me, I was each time I was like sick the entire day, stay in my bed, high temperature, uh, like like not absolutely not in a way that I could socialize with anyone, and that occurs years after years without, by the time, of course, me knowing what was at play. And later on, when I grew up a little bit, it was still a big struggle for me. I think even when I was like 12 or 13, I remember like everyone coming at the house to celebrate me, and I was hiding in the garden, in the trees, and looking everyone in the living room, um, and they were like enjoying their time even though I wasn't there. So um, there was like um, a recurring pattern around an inability to put myself first and to um, accept to dedicate a day to myself, to celebrate myself. And I guess if I look at it from here, even though I don't want to attach too much as to those kind of interpretation, I can definitely appreciate today that according to the dynamic of my parents, with a father that was quite absent in his position from my perspective, and mother very matriarchal, very controlling, and who's, I mean, she's still now, she doesn't let anyone do anything. She always wants to be in charge of everything. And in that dynamic between a role model that was absent to his role, and on the other side, a mother that was over present. I guess I didn't really felt that um, it was my um, that that I had like that it was legit to be celebrated in some way. And once my mom told me that. Since I arrived on this planet, and that's probably why I choose that family. My father always considered me as a competitor, because, as you probably know, there is many men who are actually, when they leave their parents' house, are just looking for a substitute mother, and my father is one of those men. So when I arrive as the first, especially as the first boy, I was probably definitely a competitor to him. Additionally to that, just before me, there was another soul who tried to incarnate, and my father convinced my mom to do an abortion in like a private hospital in the Netherlands, because by the time it was illegal, and I am assume it was not a comfortable situation for my mother. So when she got pregnant again a couple months later, I guess it must have bring her some anxiety to go to announce to my dad that she was pregnant again. So, and here I am. But I wanted to share that at the opportunity of my birthday, that I feel an extreme gratitude to my parents for the role they have played in the person that I became today, because our family context, our parents, grandparents, and all our ancestors, um, I believe, contribute highly to who we are, and the reason why we decide to choose that family according to most Eastern tradition, and the fact that I choose that specific family resonates so much into how I perceive my meaning today. And I often encourage my clients to look at their ancestors and to try to see um, invisible patterns in their transgenerational, um, how to say, lineage, because often if they are themselves in this journey of like the seeker for the light or the seeker for the truth and this journey of spiritual awakening, it is most likely that there is direct ancestors who have been planting seed for that to happen. I feel that when I started to acknowledge the work of each of my ancestors, and I saw my dad, who was born in India and who have been doing yoga and meditation for a very long time, even though he stopped now. My great-grandfather was doing research and magic mushroom in the cave of his castle, and others who were doing pilgrimage around Mount Kailash, and so on and so on. I mean, it completely makes sense for me in my experience today that I choose that specific family. And it shifts the whole paradigm when you can feel gratitude for the environment where you decide to incarnate in, instead of seeing it as a problem and more seeing it as a blessing as it is. So yeah, all my gratitude to my parents for allowing me to be here now and to be the man that I am, and of course to my family and everyone that has been supporting me. So the thing is that my birthday this year arrived actually on the day before the new moon, because now I follow the Vedic calendar of the moon for, especially for my nutrition. It means that my birthday will happen on Krishna Chaturdashi. So that's the day of dissolution, when we jump into shadow conscious work. We go into Ridra kingdom, so the place where Shiva destroy the forms that have become useless after this whole moon cycle. So it's a day where from noon we stop to have food and we go in silent introspection. We free ourselves from electronic device, and there is a few other process if one really wants to enjoy the benefit of following that tradition. Next day is the new moon, so it's Amavasya. So as many people probably get confused, it's considered as point zero. So it's not yet the new cycle. It's the point in the middle. So that's why the new moon is such an important moment in the moon cycle from the Vedic. Much more important than the full moon, because that's the moment where you plant the seed, the moment before creation, the moment before the forms take shape. So it's really the union of the opposite, and the full moon is the moment you collect the fruit of the seed you planted in the new moon. So I always speak about the importance of the new moon, and if someone is celebrating the full moon without celebrating new moon, there is like a distortion in the whole principle. So this day is really a day of liberation, when we are not pulled by one force or the other. We are in between the light and the shadow, in between the human and the divine, the earth and the sun, and it's a very powerful day to anchor new intention and to be in presence of ourselves. So the next day is Parana. So that's the renaissance, the rebirth, when the new cycle starts and when we can jump back into incarnation, basically. And so, because this cycle happened just at my birthday this year, I thought of what should I do, and I can refer myself to think of Einstein, that was saying that, maybe with other words, but that insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. And as I'm reaching my 45th birthday, I feel that I have explored all the possible way to celebrate my birthday in a more traditional way. So why not to gift myself with something that I feel that will be much more fulfilling than the delicious organic cakes and pastries that my mom put so much love into preparing for us when we are celebrating a birthday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's on a physical level, it's give me a very temporary pleasure, and often it costs me a lot in the next days. So I think it's a good opportunity to try things differently. And so this year I will gift myself with a full treatment of this Vedic calendar for the new moon, and I will plant the seeds for this next chapter of my life and what I want to manifest now that I enter in the 45 year of incarnation on this planet. And there is so many things that I want to share with the world. So I really feel the call to celebrate differently this year, and to honor myself in a way that resonates more with who I am today.